It is that time of year for New York Giants fans. It is tank time. We are going to go through in this video the tank situation, where the Giants stand, how they can finish with that number one overall pick very easily, the trade packages that could come along with having that number one pick, and how I feel like the Giants can go from worst to first next year based on them having the potential franchise quarterback already in place. So, what's everybody's favorite? Well, coming off this loss today to the Minnesota Vikings, this one was a tight one, a really close one. This one scared a lot of people who were cheering for the tank. I'm all in on the tank now. Could care less if they win these next two games. I want them to lose out. Finish with that first pick, because what you could do with that first pick is get a king's ransom for it. I'm going to show you guys multiple teams that will trade for a quarterback. We're going to go through them together, see if you guys agree with me or not. Put it in the comments. Let me know. So, going to everybody's absolute favorite website as a New York Giants fan right now, it is tankathon.com. So what we are going to do is look through every single draft pick right now. If you guys could see it on the screen. The New York Giants currently sit with the number one overall pick in the draft. Okay. Does the season end today? Absolutely not. So this is why I'm panicking a little bit. Giants and the Raiders. The Raiders are right behind them. Raiders have the number two overall pick in the draft. Giants, Raiders play each other next week. That will determine who's going to get the first pick in the draft. I'm almost certain whoever loses that game gets the first pick in the draft. Whoever wins that game, this is where the dangerous stuff comes along. 9 losses in a row for the Giants and Raiders, man. How bad do you got to be? Yeah, seeing that 9 losses in a row is killing me. With the New York Giants, man. It's just horrible to look at. Anyway, back to the positives. Or negative. If you win this game, if you're the Giants, you have the potential to drop down to somewhere in this range. Jets, Titans, Zona, all with 3 wins. You have the potential to drop down all the way down to that 5, 6, 7 slot. You want to completely avoid that. You do not want to go anywhere near this area if you're trying to benefit and get the picks that we're supposed to get to try and improve this team next year. So going with the Giants, if we finish first, obviously easy peasy, right? We get the first pick. Here we go. Raiders want a quarterback. They'll look to trade up. Cleveland could want a quarterback. They'll look to trade up. Jets want the quarterback. They're going to look to trade up. Tennessee's good. Arizona could use the quarterback. They might want to trade up. Washington's good. I think New Orleans, who's also won 3 in a row now, I still think they could be in the mix for a quarterback. Will they trade up for one? That I don't think that they will do. The Bengals, I don't know what they're doing with Joe Burrow. I think they'll stick with him instead of trading him. I know Cincinnati's seeing a lot of that spark still. Miami, what are they doing with Tua Tagovailoa? They could be looking to trade. The Rams could be looking to trade for a quarterback with Atlanta's pick, only because Stafford's age, having a guy in that position 2-3 years down the road with the tutelage from Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford could benefit them greatly. Then you come down here, Kansas City, Dallas, Minnesota. This is where we're going to focus for this video, because the Raiders, the Browns, the Jets, that's 3, Arizona 4, New Orleans 5, Miami 6. You have 4 definite teams that want to trade for a quarterback, and you could make the argument that there's 6 teams that want to trade for the quarterback. If you're the New York Football Giants and you finish with this first overall pick, you have to trade it. I think most fans are in agreement with that. We're not going to sit here. We're not going to debate who we're going to draft at 1, right? Because there's no clear consensus number 1 overall player in this class that's worthy of taking that first overall pick, right? Caleb Downs is outstanding, the best player according in my eyes in this class. If the Giants took him at 1, yes, I would be happy, but at the end of the day, I could think the Giants can still get a guy like Caleb Downs if they move from 1 to 4, take a bunch of draft picks from other teams, still be able to get that player. Still be able to get. This is where Joe Schoen. I don't want him back. I hope it's not Joe Schoen. This is where the next Giants general manager has to be smart, because whoever you plan on drafting with the first pick, you're still going to be able to get that specific guy if you trade down to 3, 4, or 5. Most likely, you'll be able to get that guy, because who's ever trading up for 1 is getting the quarterback. If Vegas finishes second and they want to move up a spot, they're going to give you some capital to get up there. Not as much as a team like the Jets would. Speaking of the New York Jets, we're going to play the game. We're going to play the game now that the New York Giants finish with the first pick and the New York Jets finish with the fourth pick. What if this happens? Would these two teams make a trade? I think that they would make a trade. I think both teams can help each other out tremendously if that's the case. And if the New York Giants want to be able to help the Jets want to be able to help the Giants. Let's all get each other out of the doldrums together, because at this point, we're not hurting anybody anymore, right? What are some hypothetical trades that the Jets and Giants could do if, in fact, they finish with that draft pick? We're going to go over, I think Field Yates had a thing, and Field Yates had a mock, and PFF had a mock. Two of the better mocks that I've seen online was Field Yates, who I respect, and PFF, who could be hit or miss. But if you're looking at the proposed trade packages here for the mock draft, the Jets would receive the Giants' first overall pick. They're taking Fernando Mendoza. Done deal. That's finished. Now we move on to the next thing. What are the Giants getting in return? The Giants would be getting the pick swap, moving to number 5 with the Jets. They would be getting the 5th pick. They'd be getting a second-round pick in this year's draft, a first-round pick in next year's draft, which if the Jets are drafting a rookie quarterback, if they're bringing back Aaron Glenn, that 2027 Jets first-round pick could be very, very valuable. And they're also going to get the Jets' second-round pick next year, which could also be very, very valuable. This is a pretty good package from PFF. If I'm the New York Giants, I'm even asking for an additional first-round pick, the Colts or the Cowboys pick next year as well. Doesn't have to be this year's draft pick, but I want another first-round pick. You're coming up. You want the quarterback if you're the Jets. And if you're the Giants, you want the quarterback. Okay? I don't need to trade the pick. You need to make sure you're getting the quarterback. So in this scenario, I'm adding an additional first-round pick, whether it's the Colts or the Cowboys next year. So that package would be a pick swap. Giants would have the 5th. They would have the Jets 2nd this year, the Jets 1st next year, the Jets 2nd next year, and either the Cowboys or the Colts next year as well. So that's not going to be enough. I want another additional first-round pick for that. Another one that Field Yates put out, this one I was more inclined with. So the Jets would get that first overall pick. Giants get the Jets both first-round picks in this current draft. So that would be the 7th. Right now it's the 4th and the 18th pick overall. So the Giants would have an additional first-round pick this year, and then they would get a day 2 pick. That is not enough for me. And I know I respect Field Yates a lot. That is nowhere close to being enough for me to trade that pick. So what I'm proposing is Jets get the first round pick. Jets first. They're swapping. Jets first next year. Additionally, Cowboys, Colts next year, one of those picks, and both second-round picks this year and next year. That's how we're starting the conversation. And if they don't want to start the conversation there, the Giants don't need to make the trade. Remember, if you're a Giants fan, you got to be patient with these kind of deals because they don't just happen overnight. You're going to have multiple teams fighting for that number 1 pick. Multiple teams fighting for that number 1 pick. And if you're the Giants, you do not give in to the pressure and just be happy with a certain draft package. You fight for that package. You get it, and you get as much as you can. Because if you don't, and the Giants fail at this, everything could go to crap. All right? You have the franchise quarterback in place already. You got him. There's no need to worry about it. Your job now is to lose these next 2 games against the Raiders and against the Cowboys. Finish at 2-15. Joe Shane get the boot. Clean house completely. Get a competent general manager in here with the confidence of building this team that could go from worst to first next year. Because of an example that I love is the Chicago Bears, where they didn't make the playoffs, and then all of a sudden now they're fighting for the number 1 seed. And you got to love the way Caleb Williams is playing. You got to love the way that team's playing. All the acquisitions, all the draft picks coming back together, all of them syncing together, and this is why the Bears are now in a position to succeed. Okay? and everybody wrote off Caleb Williams after his rookie year, saying Drake May was better and Jaden Daniels was better. And yes, I still like Drake May, but you can't make the argument to me that Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams. And the Giants they're in such a position here to completely flip the franchise on its head. Completely flip it. And executing this is not going to be easy for the Giants. Executing this scenario will not be easy. It starts with finishing the season 2-15. Then, as the offseason begins, you start the rumors. You start pitting these teams against one another and trying to get the best draft package you possibly can to fill the holes all over this team that Joe Schoen left it. Because I don't see how Joe Schoen survives this. And I will not be happy if Joe Schoen's the one executing this draft. So that's where we stand on the Tankathon. Giants still have the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Hopefully when I'm speaking to you guys in 2 weeks, making another video about this, they still hold that number 1 pick because that'll give us some solace. It will give us something to look forward to going into the offseason, and then the Giants can do whatever they have to do to finish this damn team up. They got some of the pieces there. Man. Stay positive, Giants fans. I know it's hard, but they got a clean house, and they will get this thing going, especially if they finish with that number 1 pick. Thank you, guys, if you got this far. Appreciate every one of you. Like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. More videos coming out soon. Let's go, Giants. Let's go Tank, I guess.